Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour, bonsoir. Je suis Patrick François et bienvenue sur Haïti, culture et perspective, la chaîne qui dit du bien d'Haïti. Dans l'émission d'aujourd'hui, je reviens sur le discours du président kényan William Ruto devant l'Assemblée générale des Nations unies où il parle d'un nouvel ordre mondial et d'un nouveau paradigme des relations internationales. Ce discours était consacré aussi à Haïti et vous allez voir qu'il y a eu beaucoup d'incohérences, tout cela dans un seul but, occuper Haïti, sans aucune intention de combattre les gangs en Haïti. Dans ce discours, au plus il a essayé de parler avec nos cœurs, au plus nous sommes convaincus d'une seule chose. Monsieur Ruto, vous devez rester chez vous.
The failure of peace and security systems, inadequate development, and limited climate action amidst technological advancement and enormous wealth has left us in a state of paralysis, enduring one of the darkest periods of human existence.
Quel constat pessimiste de l'état du monde. Sans doute que ce constat, ce diagnostic est correct, mais pas une seule fois, M. Ruto s'est posé la question des responsables de cet état du monde. Ne seraient-ils pas ses propres alliés?
We may all agree, without any fear of contradiction, that the world is headed in a most undesirable direction. It is moments like this that the affirmative spirit of multilateralism, international collective action, and global solidarity is most needed and should be attained. This is not the occasion for any member of the United Nations to escape when they should be rising to the challenge of the moment. We appreciate that multilateralism is on trial, and our task is to defend it. We also recognize that multilateralism is broken, and it is our responsibility to fix it.
Là encore, le constat du président kényan est sans doute tout à fait juste. Mais dans le système international, quels sont les pays qui s'opposent justement à ce multilatéralisme? Là encore, ne serait-ce pas les alliés de M. Ruto?
Resorting to pursuit of narrow, insular, antisocial agendas within exclusive clubs constituted to maintain the status quo that undermines and cannibalizes the United Nations systems at the expense of progress in humanity's collective journey to the future of our aspirations is totally unacceptable.
À ce moment du discours, on se rend compte que William Ruto veut être le porte-parole des petits. Alors, pourquoi s'allie-t-il avec les grands?
The existence of this inimical clique of geopolitical formations defies the fundamental values and principles of the UN system, and its operations have led to alienation, mistrust, insecurity, and exclusion of and among peoples, nations, regions, and continents. If any confirmation was ever needed that the United Nations Security Council is dysfunctional, undemocratic, non-inclusive, unrepresentative, and therefore incapable of delivering meaningful progress in our world as presently constituted, the rampant impunity of its actors on global scene settles that matter.
Là encore, son constat est sans doute pertinent, mais cet argument peut être retenu contre lui lorsqu'il va essayer de justifier son interventionnisme en Haïti.
The environment of pervasive mistrust between the global North versus the global South, developed versus developing, rich versus poor, polluters versus victims, and net emitters versus net victims, which complicate and frustrates multilateralism, is the inevitable result of promises not kept, commitments not actualized, resolutions not honored, and principles not observed. Multilateralism has been failed by abuse of trust, negligence, and impunity.
Mais ce système dysfonctionnel n'est pas remis en question profondément. Il est seulement appelé à être réformé. Cela s'apparente à de la poudre aux yeux.
A year ago, I stood in this assembly hall to call upon the global community to transform the UN system in order to achieve a consensus-driven, rules-based multilateral system which works for the people of the world in their diversity. It is time for multilateralism to reflect the voice of the farmers, represent the hopes of villagers, champion the aspirations of pastoralists, defend the rights of fisherfolk, express the dreams of traders, respect the wishes of workers, and indeed protect the welfare of all peoples of the world.
Certes, il appelle à une réforme du système international et le système onusien, mais jamais il ne parle de le remplacer par un autre système.
In the face of the most urgent crisis of our time, it is now clear that the international community has fallen seriously behind in meeting its targets in both climate action and the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals, as well as their underlying enabler, peace and security.
Jusque-là, son discours est très cohérent. On pense qu'il va tacler le système, on pense qu'il va le remettre en question. Écoutez plutôt.
We as Africa have come to the world not to ask for arms, charity, or handouts, but to work with the rest of the global community to give every human being in this world a decent chance of security and prosperity by taking necessary actions, mobilizing adequate resources for investment, confronting security challenges, and resolving conflict as we all make our contribution to global prosperity.
Voilà un discours qui fera écho chez les jeunes Africains qui essayent de se faire entendre et qui pensent que l'Afrique doit jouer un rôle important dans le concert des nations.
Kenya is proud of the contribution it continues to make in its tireless endeavor to support peacemaking, conflict prevention, peacekeeping, peace building, and other interventions undertaken across different regions. All across Africa, there is progress in efforts to resolve conflict and restore peace and stability. Kenya remains committed, determined, and indefatigable in its contribution to unity, peace, security, stability, and prosperity.
Ici, il parle de la force du Kenya à pouvoir faire respecter la paix, mais toujours pas un seul mot sur Haïti. Pourtant, on y arrive.
Often, we have made encouraging progress. For example, on 5th December 2022, the Juba Peace Agreement ushering in a 2-year transition was signed by the parties to the conflict in Sudan. A day after, the Inter-Congolese Dialogue on EAC-led process and concluded its 3rd session in Nairobi. The following day, the government of Somalia and Somaliland agreed to resume reconciliation. We are also proud of the progress made in stabilizing Eastern DRC as a result of the EAC regional force, setting the DRC on the path to sustainable peace and stability. In Ethiopia, the guns have gone silent following the Pretoria and Nairobi agreements, while in South Sudan, the parties have committed to explore ways to resume and conclude the stalled peace process and to hold elections.
Or, le Kenya a bel et bien échoué dans ses missions de maintien de la paix. On peut penser au conflit face au Shebab de la Somalie, ou alors son intervention du Congo pour combattre le M23. Et que dire du Sud-Soudan? Tous ces pays, dans une certaine mesure, ont connu une forme de dysfonctionnement qui est due justement à l'intervention du Kenya.
Our proactive commitment to peace, which is not limited to our continent, inspired us to dispatch the African Peace Delegation consisting of 6 African heads of state to Moscow and Kiev with a 10-point peace plan, beginning with efforts to initiate a mediation process to resolve the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Although the delegation encountered significant challenges in their mission, we remain very proud that they showed up. The hunger for peace and security in Africa is evident, and this bodes well for the prospects of attaining the Africa Union's Agenda 2063 and global peace.
Volonté pour le Kenya de jouer un rôle plus global. Ça y est, on se rapproche de la question haïtienne.
Kenya stands in solidarity with all humanity, without regard to region, border, or hemisphere.
Tout ceci est cohérent avec le reste. Le président nous dit que le Kenya ne tient pas compte de l'hémisphère. Mais est-il prêt à faire 12 200 km pour changer le sort des Haïtiens?
This is why and how we see the people of the Republic of Haiti, who are suffering immensely from the bitter legacy of slavery, colonialism, sabotage, and neglect. As a nation which was forced to wage a painful struggle for our own independence and sovereignty, Kenya empathizes very deeply with the humiliation of our proud people in Haiti and the price they have had to pay for their hunger for liberty and the sorrow they have endured for their thirst for freedom. Haiti is the ultimate test of international solidarity and collective action. The international community has failed this test so far and thus let down a people very, very badly.
Mais où était le Kenya pendant toutes ces années où ce pays luttait pour sa survie? Combien de fois le Kenya a-t-il pris position en faveur du sort des Haïtiens? Et surtout, pourquoi intervenir maintenant en Haïti? Ces questions sont d'une grande légitimité.
Haiti deserves better from the world. The cry of our brothers and sisters who were the first people to win their struggle for freedom from colonial tyranny has reached our ears and touched our hearts. Doing nothing in the face of the historic isolation, neglect, and betrayal of the people of Haiti is out of question. Inaction is no longer an option. As we mobilize to show up for Ukraine and countries that have experienced the devastating impact of climate shocks, including Libya, Morocco, and Hawaii, we must not leave Haiti behind. We must commit to show up in the spirit of solidarity to support a people regain their political and socio-economic footing by reinforcing the underlying enabler that is security.
Mais pourquoi maintenant, M. Ruto? Pourquoi maintenant?
Kenya is ready to play its part in full and join with a coalition of other nations of goodwill, and there are many, as a great friend and true sibling of Haiti. We urge the United Nations to urgently deliver an appropriate framework to facilitate the deployment of multinational security support as part of a holistic response to Haiti's challenges. We call on the Security Council to contribute positively by approving a resolution under Chapter 7 that tailors the security support mission to the specific needs of Haiti and its people.
Et c'est là que le discours perd toute sa crédibilité. Ce système onusien tant décrié depuis le début du discours est celui auquel il fait appel pour lui donner une légitimité politique et diplomatique.
This should be part of a comprehensive strategy that includes delivering humanitarian aid, supporting livelihoods, instituting reforms, and fostering a political process guided and owned by Haitians, all in the aim of enabling free and fair elections within a reasonable time frame.
Et pas un mot sur le combat contre les gangs. Alors, si le Kenya ne va pas faire la guerre contre les gangs, que va-t-il faire en Haïti ?